how can I work more effectively with digital solutions to increase my sales? So today's session will focus on selling international education the digital way with a real focus on online selling. Now, in order to explore online selling for education, an interesting point of departure is looking at our cousins in the travel industry. Now, travel today is very much the same as travel 50 years ago, going from point A to point B. But the commercial process, the buying experience, and how travel is managed has been completely revolutionized by the embracing of digital solutions. Our friend, the old travel agent here with his 60s hairdo, is becoming less and less impactful. How this first started happening and a real milestone for for travel was the introduction in 1952 of the magnetronic reservisor. I'm glad I could say that correctly. The magnetronic reservisor introduced by American Airlines. Now, this was a centralized reservation system introduced by AA to allow their agents to access availability of seats on their airlines. And by introducing this solution, AA and eventually their competitors eventually realized that by giving a centralized reservation system to their agents became a more productive and higher performing extension of their sales force. Now, this led to the arrival of global distribution systems, otherwise known as GDSs. And with the GDS was introduced the concept of real-time inventory management, in which the service providers allowed their agents to access real-time management of their services, their products, their rates, and their fees. And again, the discovery was much the same. By giving a centralized reservation system, be it for hotel rooms, seats on an airplane, or for car hire, the agents became more productive in selling. And these four GDS remain today the backbone of travel online, for travel sales online. And these players are Amadeus, Sabre, Galileo, and WorldSpan. Now, these exist very much behind the scenes. And we're now living in a new era, which is for travel, the do-it-yourself traveler. I think it's pretty safe to assume that many of us are here today through one of these sites. Now, the do-it-yourself era was first born in 1996 by what was then a very small department of Microsoft called Expedia, in which they launched their online site for purchasing travel, for purchasing flights, hotel rooms, and organizing car hire. And thus, this era was born, in which us, the end customer, decide when we travel, how we travel, and how much we're willing to pay, in which the end customer takes complete control of the purchasing experience. Now, this is where we are today with travel. It is safe to say that in international education, we are a little bit behind the curve. Our industry has been perhaps a little bit reluctant to embrace some of the digital solutions that are available. Still today, we see a lot of manual processes, be it the generation of a quote, or even the presence of paper brochures, in which we have one of my colleagues drowning under in the first picture. But these solutions do exist, and I think ICEF are doing a wonderful job today of putting a spotlight on those solutions so that we can better understand them and embrace them in our day-to-day processes. Now, I think there's a clear understanding as to why these solutions are attractive. Working with technology is widely understood, helps us to be more efficient. It removes repetitive tasks. It makes workflows more productive and more impactful. Working effectively with digital solutions also helps make your brand more visible, helps you to stand out and to stand out from the competition. And all of this with the end objective of selling more, which is where we're going to start focusing now as we really explore this idea of selling education online. Now, as we explore this concept, and I think it's something that's very desirable for our industry, we also need to be aware of the challenges that are implicit. We're going to talk today a lot about the buying habits of today's learners. We're dealing with net natives who are used to buying on their phone and manage their experience with technology from start to finish. Now, this comes with challenges for both educators and for agencies. So the first question is, well, what is required? If we're to discuss what is required for effective selling of education online, we can learn a lot from the travel industry. Firstly, we need accurate pricing management. How can we get accurate pricing into the systems that we use online to sell to students? Well, this would require either collaboration between educators and agencies working across the same technology or working with shared APIs. Then we need live management of pricing from a single source of truth. And then the next challenge would be introducing a system that is amenable to the traditional pricing structures that educators want to work with, as well as allowing for more innovation in pricing. Innovation in pricing, everything from promotions, Black Friday is quickly approaching, as well as exploring increased dynamism in pricing, the dynamism that we see today in the travel industry. Now, the good thing is that we at Edvisor have been working on this for the last 6 years, on fixing pricing and giving pricing solutions to educators and to agencies. The way we see it, the next frontier is how we can get this solution to help us to effectively sell online. And again, selling online comes with its challenges. It needs to be fed by an industry-specific GDS that understands the pricing structures I previously mentioned. Furthermore, selling to students comes with more complexity than buying a flight or booking a hotel room. We need to be aware of the requirements for booking the course, language levels, previous work experience, visa requirements, and then, of course, availability. Following on from there, the following challenge is understanding a payment flow. Introducing the idea of the point of sale purchase, in which a student says, I like this service, I want to buy it right away. Well, we need to then return to what is required in order to receive the full payment. So here it is the introduction of an initial or partial payment that is followed up by a full payment solution. I am pretty confident this is something that our colleagues in FinTech are going to be talking about more and more throughout the course of today. And then finally, what I personally feel is the most significant blocker, or where our industry struggles in embracing these solutions, is the human touch. We understand that agencies and educators, well, ICEF is a great example of how important the human touch and the human relationship is. And I think a key question is, how can technology and online selling not replace those relationships between partners or relationships with students, but how can they support and make those relationships more effective? How can technology help us to be more effective in selling, not replacing how we sell? And this is a bit of a teaser, because I will now leave you with my colleague Julieta Moya, who's going to be showing us the technology that we've been working on at Edvisor for over a year now in introducing online selling to our industry. We've addressed here some of the challenges, we've looked at the evolution of travel, and here we can introduce one of the key solutions with which our industry can adapt to begin selling effectively online.